lots of creativity in the Bible. I mean, we're talking about, castles made of jasper with windows of,
absolutely,
whatever.
Yeah.
But it isn't something we've always embraced fully as a church, is it?
Yeah, I don't know, exactly why that is. I think sometimes, this is maybe like a book in the future or something like that, but sometimes it seems like there were two trees in the garden. There was a tree of life, and then there was a tree of the knowledge of good and evil, meaning almost like the tree of knowing right from wrong. And sometimes it seems like we'd rather stay in the safe places where we know right and we know wrong, and we try and stay in the right and stay away from the wrong. But, imagination and creativity isn't quite like that. And the life of God, Jesus oftentimes takes us in places where we don't expect, sometimes even offends and shocks our sensibilities, right? And you see that all throughout the Psalms, of them going to places where they even dare to say, like, almost curse God to his face. If you look at Psalm 88, and it was still, they didn't get incinerated on the spot, right? Or at the other part of being so passionately, excited about God that they would say, "Shout to the Lord, all the earth," in Psalm 100, and or break out into joyful singing and dancing and all kinds of musical instruments and everything. Everything that has breath should praise the Lord. So going to all these extremes of exposing our vulnerability and stuff, when you do that, what you find is that we don't expect God to actually care about us enough to meet us when we're wrong, to meet us when we maybe say things or blurt things out that aren't quite totally right. But what you find is a God who goes, "Hey, no matter where you are, I want to come and meet you right where you are, and I'm going to walk with you through to the place of healing and wholeness on the other side." That's the God that I want to meet, and that's the God that the world is desperate to hear.
So how do you take people on that journey if they feel they might be a little bit creative, or they'd like to express themselves in another way, but they're a little bit scared that they get it wrong? How do you help them to do that?
So, well, the first thing I've found that you have to do is you kind of have to demonstrate something to people where they see you doing something that they go, "Whoa, how did he do that?" Or "How did she do that?" Right? And once you get them asking that question, then they're really willing to pay attention. And so then I get them like kind of breaking down, like, hey, what was actually the thing that made this so good? What made it come alive to you? And then I link that into, now look at the things if we're talking about writing in particular, these are the things in writing that always make it come alive. And so they know that, and then I say, okay, let's do a little exercise. And you could actually do this exercise wherever you are right now. And I'll say, okay, let's pick four words. Okay, so Esther, you pick 4 words for me, and they have to be, so just pick one word first word that pops in your head.
Sunshine.
Sunshine. Okay, now I need a word that's completely, totally unrelated to that. You can't connect the two.
So not like an opposite, just completely
unrelated.
Mathematics.
Okay, sunshine, mathematics, okay, and then what's another word that's totally unrelated to those two?
Glue.
Sunshine, mathematics, glue, and now I need probably like a verb that doesn't seem like it could ever work with any of those.
Sleeping.
Sunshine, mathematics, glue, and sleeping, okay?
What are you going to do with that?
Right, so you got those 4 words. You've got to like write something. Let's say Psalm 23, since everybody knows Psalm 23, right? So you have to write something on Psalm 23. You have to use those 4 words. You have to use a clean sheet of paper, fill up the whole sheet of paper, and you only get 5 minutes to do it. And I'm going to time you.
Can I write big?
Yeah, you could write big, but that's cheating. You'll rob yourself of the experience, right? So the pressure forces your imagination to start to take over. You start to write things that you didn't expect to write. And at the end of it, especially I see this whenever kids do this, whenever adults do it, at the end of those 5 minutes, after you've been writing for those, furiously, and your hand hurts and you got a cramp and stuff like that, well, people, they read what they wrote and they read it out loud. And I've never seen it not produce some amazing creative stuff. And people discover things about God that they didn't know they believed before they started writing. Once they read what they've written, everybody just walks away amazed. And it's that simple. That is like an easy cure for writer's block. And you just do that engaging with the Psalms, and you find yourself like things pouring out of you that you didn't know were in there. And then if you stop at the end of it, you hear God going, "Way to go. I'm so proud of you.
Oh.
I love your creativity, and I so enjoy just hanging out with you and getting to experience your heart when it comes alive, because you've been hiding those emotions and those feelings away from me for so long. Could you just let me into that place too, not just your intellect, so that you know me deeper than just in your mind?"
It's like I'm blocking the sink, isn't it?
Why not start your day with Inspirational Breakfast, Monday to Fridays from 7 a.m, only on Premier Christian Radio, where faith comes to life.